my team not giving them the maximum. Then the rest is with me. What I feel the disappointment sometimes is that I look at my team and think sometimes I felt that we could run more. I didn't have that feeling. If I have that feeling, I will be okay. So I am emotional when I feel that we can do better in effort. When we don't do, it's my fault. It's not their fault, so I will be fine with that. So sometimes I'm emotional, sometimes I just move on and go to the next game. I know that is a step that is a game that is really hard on our fans, and a lot of fans are pundits, and I know that. But again, I cannot point one thing to one player of effort. With game intelligence, a lot of things, yes, we can improve. But that is my fault, and that is my part. So I'll be okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, it is. Look, I think maybe it's because Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho are sort of like huge, massive personalities in the world of football, and when they came into an interview after the game, they were very spiky at times, so it almost brought anger out maybe in the studio. I don't think there's any anger in this studio at this moment in time. I don't think there's no ill will towards any manager, but certainly towards Rúben Amorim. I think we all want him to do really well. But there are patterns emerging, and there'll be no Manchester United fan that exists that isn't worried at this moment in time about what's going to happen in this next month. And the one thing I would say about the system, and I'm not going to get bogged down on 3 at the back, 5 at the back, 4 at the back, but when he talks about the 2 in midfield, and Patrick, I thought, asked him 2 really good questions there about the 2 in midfield. I think it's about who the 2 players are, number 1, which obviously United haven't got the right 2 in there, whether that's Casemiro, Gatti, Mainu or Fernandes.
He doesn't have any players that fit this system.
No, he hasn't got the right 4 in there, so that's a big problem for him. So then you would ordinarily say a manager has to adapt until he gets the right players into the club. He's not been able to do it in this first wave of transfers.
Whose decision would that have been, Gary? Because
No,
they spent all the money at the top of the pitch, didn't they?
No, but I think they need to fix the top of the pitch. I don't disagree with that, but they spent 200 odd million. We were all surprised United had that much money. But just coming back to the 2 in midfield, there is a pattern. It is a problem. So I know that he said it's not a problem in there because he's got 3 at the back and he's got the 3 in front. He said he mentioned Abermo, Sesko and Diallo. I know exactly what he means, but it is a problem. And it's happening in a lot of the games that Manchester United are playing. They start off really compact, where all players, the 10 players, are connected together. The 5 at the back, the 2 in midfield are really close to that 5, and then the 3 in front are cuddling that 2. So they're really protected. But what happens is if the game becomes a little stretched, and it usually happens when Manchester United concede a goal. It happened against Burnley, it happened against Fulham, it happened against, not necessarily against Arsenal, but it happened against Burnley, Fulham. It happened against here today against Manchester City. When Manchester United go a goal down and those 3 start to be a bit more risk-taking, a bit more expressive, and they start to stretch a little bit, that 2 then look wide open. And you can't deny that. So yeah, I get what he means by the fact when they're all compact, but there is a problem that's emerging that if United have a difficulty in a game and those 2 end up left in there on their own, there are none of them that are good enough to defend that space though. None of them have got the legs. You need Caicedo and Vieira, you need Keane and
that's where they get
Gerrard. You need
that's why they get found out against decent opposition. They can get away against Burnley or draw at Fulham, but against the really good teams, the midfield battle, if you're losing that battle against the good teams, ultimately you're going to lose football matches.
It's going to work, is it?
Why did Pep bring Doku off the line today into a position I've never seen him bring him into? Because Manchester United play 2 in that.
It's too flat, it's too rigid, and it's hard to, when you watch this system, we've seen Amorim for what, over 6 months now in the Premier League.
Yeah, that was the story of the Manchester derby here at the Etihad Premier League Live on the road. It is City's day by 3 goals to 0. Peter was saying at the full time there, Julian, that they weren't back to their brilliant best, but they had control through most of that game, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. And I agree with Peter. I think there was times where Man United looked like they were going to score, but overall they was in control, and them chances for Man United did come when it was 3-0. So from a player's perspective, you kind of lacking concentration slightly, take your foot off the pedal. But if they needed to, who knows, it could have been 4, 5 maybe, because they did create opportunities themselves. But yeah, I think due to the previous 2, 3 performances and results, you can't say they're back to their best because you don't know what the next week brings.
But we're talking about personal performances. Jeremy Doku was one of those who rose to the occasion today, and that first goal, a crucial breakthrough goal, was all down to him, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you don't expect him to pop up in that position, almost an inside right position when he's playing out in the left, but he found a lovely little, what we call a number 10 position, and gets turned, and that's when alarm bells need to go in the Manchester United defence. As soon as he turns here, you see Phil Foden's reaction. he darts into the box straight away. He thinks, right, I'm not needed anymore in this pocket. I'll get into the box and hope something lands at my feet. As it did, it landed at his head. Second time of asking from Doku, but look at the way he just turns his neck there and feeds it into that far corner. Beautiful finish from Foden, but great play as well from Doku.
Manchester United have 8 players in the penalty area there.
Yeah, and it's against 3 blue shirts. This is my worry. This is where I think we're not improving at all. This is when pre-match said that there are still a lot of players there that are confused about what they need to do in this system. And I'm getting to a point now where I think this system, we cannot talk about this system. I think the manager needs to change it a little bit.
But we know we won't.
Go a little bit basic. Go forward the back.
Yeah, that's the
make
thing, though,
players
yeah.
actually make the players play what they can play. Make them, utilise their strength. Because you look at Luke Shaw in that situation. Luke Shaw is a left fullback, but he's playing in that left centre-back position. And he's confused about where he's supposed to be. He gets done by a little trick by Doku on the 18-yard line, but way out. He's not supposed to be there. Look at where he is.
That's a fullback area. That's
Exactly.
a fullback versus a winger. So he's used to them scenarios, so he should be used to that. That's just a brilliant bit of skill that he's gone past him. For me, sometimes you can have too many players back, and then you don't recognise what am I supposed to do. You're supposed to be, I'm in a good position. And aesthetically, United players look like they're in good positions, but you have to be in a position that affects the opponent, and no one's tracking Phil Foden. Haaland's free. Yep. So from a defender's point of view, when the ball went out of play, I always thought, could I have touched my striker or the person I was meant to be marking? Because then I could have influenced what he was trying to do, but no one's close to anyone.
How tempting is it when you're a defender, or how natural is it when the ball's about to come in, you just keep running back towards your goal? When actually, as you say, 8v3 in the box, why can't one of 8 people mark a man? Is it just natural that you just think,
it is natural.
I'll play
and there's
safe?
obviously things that strikers do naturally, like pull out
a little bit.
So
but you know that.
Yeah, 100%. But what I don't see enough of, and this isn't a Man United thing or defensive, no one's running backwards. And when you're running forwards, all of a sudden, if it gets cut back, how do you adjust your body to then attack the ball? So for me, I was always taught, when you're running back and it's in the final third or you're in the 18-yard box, back pedal. Because then if it goes forward or it's cut back, you're moving forward and then you're able to intercept the cross. But for me, United players are not doing that.
Then it became the Erling Haaland show at the double in the second half, because we said at half-time, can United start well? They did. But then within 7 minutes, bang, City are 2-0 up.
This was a beautiful goal. 4 great bits of skill, all on the spin. O'Reilly, and then we get the little shimmy from Foden, a great ball through, a great ball then again from Doku. I think Erling Haaland knows what he's going to do. As that ball's been passed, he's thinking dink. And the goalkeeper makes up his mind, he runs straight at him, and it's just a wonderful finish. Getting the wrong side there, Doku's bit of strength, wrong side again from Shaw, strength keeping him off. Look at that strength of him, just keeps him at arm's length and then dinks it over. I mean, it's a textbook finish. As soon as he's running through, I'm thinking dink, dink. I'd be interested if we can grab him at some point after this game to find out when he was actually thinking it. But beautiful goal from City, and even Pep Linders and Pep Guardiola, they kept saying to each other, top goal.